Hi soulmates, welcome to Soul Kiddies with Chomzy J. In today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to make this baby bloomer. If this sounds like something you're interested in, do make sure to keep on watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. I will also be teaching you how to fix the waistband. I'll be teaching you the simplest and easiest method of fixing the waistband. So let's dive in. So I have my fabric folded into 4. And the length of this fabric is 14 inches and the width is 9 inches. So I have this folded into 14 by 9. So next thing I did was to mark out the waistband. This is the channel in which I'll be passing the elastic. So I used 2.5 inches, and at that point I came down with the crotch length of 9 inches. On that crotch line, I went inward with 1.5 inches, and I connected this 1.5 inches to the waistline. So I curved out the crotch like so, and on the hemline I went inward with 1 inch and curved it out like so. So after this, I'll go ahead to cut up. But before that, I went up with 0.5 inches because I noticed the crotch depth was too low. So now I'm using 8.5 instead of 9. So I curved it out to the hem like so, and I'll go ahead and cut it out. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. So this is what the bloomer is looking like. Next thing I'll do is to go ahead and sew the crotch line with 0.5 inch like so. I'll sew this other side to 0.5 inch, and this is what it looks like after sewing. So I'll go ahead and fold it out like so. Next thing I'll do is to fold in the elastic channel. So I'll fold 0.5 inch first. I'll fold with 0.5 inch, and I'll go ahead and fold with 2 inches again. So this is the 2.5 inches space we gave while cutting it out. So I'll go ahead and pin it out. I'll pin this around the waistline. Please encourage me by subscribing and liking this video. It goes a long way to push this content to a wider audience. Please subscribe. Please, it's totally free, but it means a lot to the growth of this channel. As you can see, this channel is just an upcoming channel, so please leave a like and subscribe. After this, I'll go ahead to sew it round. Then I'll take the crotch part like so. I'll match it up like so, and I'll also stitch this down with 0.5 inch. So I've done that here, and I also left about 1 inch here. This is the space I'll be passing the elastic. So after this, I'll go ahead to hem the down parts like so. I'll fold in 0.5 inch and 0.5 again, and I'll be stitching it round. I'll repeat same thing to other parts, 0.5 and 0.5, and I'll stitch it round. So this is the elastic I'll be using. I have 17 inches length by 2 inches width. So this elastic is the 2 inches width elastic. So I'll go in and fixing my safety pin. I'll lock it and pass it through the space I gave while sewing. Like I said in the beginning of this video, that I'll be showing you the easiest method to fix this elastic. So this is the easiest method. After that, I went ahead to secure the tip with my zigzag sewing machine. So I stitch this down with my zigzag sewing machine. I will trim out the rough parts, and after doing this, I went ahead to sew on the elastic like so. So I will sew, then drag, and so just so there is no squeeze on the elastic. So while sewing, you sew and drag. So you drag and sew. This way there will not be any squeeze on the elastic while sewing. So this is what will make the elastic to come out very neat. So while sewing, you drag it, then you sew. I will stitch this and go ahead to sew another line. So I stitch 2 lines on this elastic. You can stitch as many lines as you want, but I just use 2 lines. And after this, I'll go ahead to sew the bow that will be on the front of this short. So I have my fabric folded into two 7 by 5 inches. So I'll go ahead to stitch it in a square shape like so. So after stitching, I realized that it's too much, so I reduced it to 5.5 inches. I trimmed it out. Remember, we cut out 7 inches, but I reduced it to 5.5 because it was too wide. So I trimmed out the corners like so, and I went ahead to give it a little opening. This is where I'll be passing it out. After stitching, I'll go ahead to turn it out. So this is what it looked like, and this is what I'll be passing around the bow. So I have about 1.5 inches. I'll fold it inward like so and stitch it. And this is what our short is looking like. So these are the bow and the material I'll be passing around the bow. So I folded the bow into two just so I have a straight line, and I've passed my thread in my needle. So I'll go ahead to use my needle to gather the bow like so. So I'll be using this needle just to gather the bow to give it that bow effect. I'll be passing it like so, and after this I will use the thread to pass around the bow. So this is just the easiest method of making bow. After this I will knot it. Please don't forget to subscribe, please. It's totally free, please. And also drop your comments. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I will gladly attend to it. So I knot it and use the second part of the bow to pass around the bow. I cut it out. Then I'll be using this one to pass it around like so. I'll trim it out because it's too much, and I will also secure it with my needle and thread. After this, I'll go ahead and pin it and sew it with my needle and thread to the short. And this is the easiest and simplest method of making this bloomer short. It came out very beautiful. Just try it. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch up to this point, I really appreciate. See you in my next video. Bye.